I've had a love-hate affair with Star Wars video games that ranges from the Atari 2600 all the way up through modern day. Some I've adored, some I've despised, so when I heard that Ubisoft was teaming up with Lucasfilm to build a big open-world action adventure based on a mostly dead franchise that I used to care about, it did pique my interest. But then I heard you'd essentially be playing a gender swap of a young Han Solo, and that you'd be getting embroiled in heists across the Outer Rim, and that the gameplay would have shootouts and space battles, but that the bulk of it would be stealth. Now, my long-term fans out there will know that the game already has two strikes against it. In most cases, I hate heist films. Ocean's 11, The Italian Job, Now You See Me, that sort of thing. 9 times out of 10, I can't stand them. They're just so boring to me. And they're so trite, and they go under the same tropes over and over again. They all feel like the same movie. The two exceptions for me are Avengers Endgame and Solo, a Star Wars story, ironically. Yeah, screw you. I thought it was fun.
Since when do you know how to fly? 190 years old? You look great.
The other thing I can't stand are stealth games. I've never been into Metal Gear Solid or the Hitman series, Splinter Cell, and so on. The closest I ever got to enjoying stealth gameplay was the Sly Cooper series, and by the time I got to the third game in that series, I was sick to death of it. So why, you may ask, would I review this game if I know I'm not gonna like it? Because I had 12 slots to fill for this ill-conceived and barely watched series. That's why. Why? As if I need a reason to intentionally play a game I know I'll hate. Newsflash, I've been doing that for 16 and a half years. Where the fuck have you been?
Everybody got that?
The story takes place a wee bit after the Battle of Hoth. Kay Vess is a scoundrel who lives in the attic above a dive bar on the planet Cantonica, which eventually becomes Canto Bight, I guess? I mean, it looks just like it, with the big-ass space horse racetrack in the middle of the town and everything. I don't know, fuck it. Anyway, Kay wants off planet to make a new life for herself. She takes a job to break into the vault of a local mob boss named Sliro, who recently murdered a bunch of other syndicate bosses to solidify his control of the planet. Kay gets into the vault, only to find out the people who hired her are actually part of the Rebel Alliance and were looking to rescue one of their imprisoned compatriots, not steal Sliro's loot. Realizing she'd been lied to and used, possibly not unlike her love life, Kay demands immediate payment and gets stunned unconscious instead. When she comes to, Sliro has blamed her for the whole thing, but with the help of her Stitch-like sidekick Nyx, she escapes and steals a small starship called the Trailblazer. She crash lands on Toshara and heavily damages the ship. She instantly meets a mechanic named Waka who agrees to repair the ship, but for a price. Jay starts doing odd jobs for the local syndicates to raise money for repairs. Eventually, she gets all the parts she needs, but Waka betrays her.
I'll be the victim all your life.
But Waka himself gets killed by a bounty hunter named Vale, who was hired by Sliro to kill Kay. Kay is then saved by fellow outlaw Jalen Vrax, who in return asks Kay to help set up yet another raid of Sliro's vault. So from there, it becomes a sort of Ocean 11, Seven Samurai mashup where Kay hops from planet to planet recruiting cohorts for this heist that she already managed quite fine on her own 15 minutes into the plot, but that's neither here nor there.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next products.
Even after numerous patches, the frame rate occasionally goes to shit on PS5 Pro, especially when roaming around in the big town on Toshara. Most of the characters look great, except for Kay herself. She looks absolutely fine from the neck down, but there's just something wrong with her facial design. I mean, I don't even know why they went with this look in the first place. Here's a picture of Kay's mocap and voice actress, Humberly Gonzalez. Very attractive young woman, yes? Any reason, Ubisoft, why you decided to turn this lovely Latina goddess into a Caucasian monstrosity that looks like a cross between Rocky Dennis and any given character from the Psychonauts series? It's very off-putting. You're basically asking me to look at that face for 15 to 20 hours. It's like asking me to sit next to Greta Thunberg on a plane flight from Chattanooga to Osaka.
How dare you!
The music, on the other hand, is outstanding. It really captures that Star Wars feel without, flat out borrowing from John Williams' score. And the voice acting is equally impeccable. Very well done. No complaints on either of those fronts. Like I said, the gameplay is mostly sneaking around, avoiding fights when what I really want to be doing is blasting everything that moves. It uses the same general stealth mechanics that Ubisoft's been using since the original Assassin's Creed in 2008. With the addition of being able to use nicks to distract guards, open hatches, and so on. It's very simplistic. You'll either be skulking around in air vents or sneaking around in a large open warehouse type area, setting off various switches to do a thing, which then allows you to do another thing. Look, you've seen it all before, and you know exactly what I'm describing here before I even bother to describe it. It's really simple shit. Aside from that, there's a few puzzles scattered about, a ton of collectibles, and occasionally you get to blast away at some bad guys in space, which is an agreeable bit of distraction, but they're far too infrequent and don't last nearly long enough.
That's what she said.
Michael, please.
There is no real leveling system to this game. You can upgrade your blaster with new parts, but you don't gain experience points, you don't level up. To earn new skills, you have to go hunt down experts in the skill you're wanting to pick up and complete their individual quest line, and then they'll teach you the skill. It's different, I'll give them that, but when so much of those missions involve, more stealth, well, it just becomes a boring slog. It's like watching the English Patient on Valium.
Elaine, I hope you're watching the clothes because I can't take my eyes off the passion.
No, I can't do this anymore. I can't. It's too long. Quit telling your stupid story about the stupid desert and just die already.
I guess the only other aspect of this tripe that's even marginally worth mentioning are the card games and the puzzles. Much like The Witcher, you'll have the occasional chance to win you some extra money playing cards, specifically the game of Sabacc, the same card game Han Solo played to win the Falcon off of Lando Calrissian. It's not as exciting as it sounds. The game plays more like blackjack than anything else. It's not nearly as challenging or sophisticated as Gwent in The Witcher 3.
What a snob.
It's okay, I guess. Meanwhile, those puzzles that you'll most often run into are hacking terminals, and for some reason, all the security terminals in a galaxy far, far away all run on Wordle?
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
This game undersold and got horrible reviews upon release. It was more or less hated, and by the time I got around to playing it, some of Kay's close-ups were retooled. A lot of the typical Ubisoft glitches were fixed, although some are still in there. I frequently got stuck on bits of the environment, and on at least 2 occasions I suffered the infamous fall through the floor into eternity glitch. But otherwise, maybe I really do just hate it because it's a stealth game in the Star Wars universe. Perhaps I just resent the fact that instead of getting Amy Hennig's canceled Star Wars game, or instead of Star Wars 1313, we got this train wreck that for some reason took 11 different Ubisoft studios comprised of over 400 people to bring to fruition. Or maybe I'm right and the game is just boring and sucks. Star Wars Outlaws gets a 4 out of 7.
She's gone from suck to blow.